Hello everyone, I'm Jamie Holmes here in the boardroom at the Orange County School District headquarters. Now, as you're probably aware, there has been a lot of back and forth between the Orange County School District and the Orange County Classroom Teachers Association over the 2023-24 contract. Now, eventually, those negotiations reached an impasse, and that means that it moved over to a special magistrate. That leads to the question, what happens now? And so I sat down for a one-on-one with Superintendent Maria Vasquez to get a clear understanding of how the district got to this point. My first question for Dr. Vasquez, what is being rejected and why?
The district is rejecting the magistrate's recommendation to make no changes to our health care plan. And it's important for our teachers, our community to understand the reason we're rejecting that is because in order for us to offer the historic 9% raise, an average of $5,400 for our teachers, that's tied to the changes in the insurance premiums. We have one pot of money, and with that, we cannot offer the 9% and maintain the current plan structure.
Now, the CTA has been saying this is a 64% increase that they're looking at.
Yes, they have been misleading in the information that they have put out. The increase, the total increase of $8.8 million is a 64% increase, but that is not equally shared by all of our teachers. Some teachers could select the plan that is zero cost, so they would see no increase. There are 3 other plans, and the highest increase for employee only would be annually $646. And so when you take into account that we are offering $5,400 salary increase, the $646 pales in comparison. That's employee only. I recognize that for those families, our teachers that have families on our plan, the numbers are higher. But we've seen increases to insurance plans, not just here in Central Florida, but across the country. And our most expensive plan, which by the way only has 6 teachers on it with family coverage, would see an annual increase of $3,459. Yes, that is so much more than the zero cost plan or the plan that would only have a $646 increase. But again, we are offering $5,400. So even for those 6 teachers, they would still see an increase in their pay. Additionally, we're committed to have our staff work with any of our employees to see if one of the other plans is better suited for them. So I hope that teachers are able to understand 70% of our teachers will see no more than an annual increase of $646. 30% will see more, and that is because of the family coverage. And one last point I want to make. When you compare our plan, including family coverage, to the neighboring districts, we're still the lowest. And we are also committed to seeing how we can bring down those costs.
So let's look at the other side of the coin here. If you don't reject the magistrate's recommendations and you're making no changes at all to insurance, then what happens next?
If we don't reject the magistrate's recommendation on health care, we cannot offer the 9% raise. And that would mean that we would have to find dollars to pay for the increases. And for next year, if there are no changes to the plan, we're projecting to have to infuse over $65 million to shore up the trust. We are required to have 2 months of claims in reserve, and for next year, that's being projected at $65 million. So If we don't make changes to the healthcare plan, we are going to have to find the dollars for that $65 million. And we have one pot of money.
So this is very fluid. What is next in the process?
We have the impasse hearing scheduled for Tuesday, March 5th, beginning at 9:30 in the morning. For many of our teachers, an impasse hearing may be something they're not familiar with, and they might believe that it is something similar to our school board meeting, when in fact, it's more closely aligned to a court hearing where the attorneys are presenting to a judge, and in this case, our 8 board members will act as the judges. The 2 attorneys will present their case. They will have an opportunity to rebut. The 8 members of our board will then be able to ask questions, and then they will deliberate and come up with a resolution for us. The idea that teachers would be able to come and speak, or the public would be able to come and speak, is something that the CTA has also put out in some of their communications, which is not the case. The only individuals speaking will be the attorneys, the board members, and anyone that the board may call on to clarify a question from staff. That's why the board members at Tuesday's meeting asked the teachers to please email us with any questions that you have or concerns. The board wants to have enough time to be thoughtful, be able to ask the questions that they need to ask to make the best decision for all of our employees. Even though this is the Classroom Teachers Association, this decision is going to impact all 25,000 of our employees. We are live streaming it. It will be up so that you can go back and see it. And I am hopeful that by the end of Tuesday, we will have a decision that will allow us to give our teachers their raises and implement whatever decision the board has as it relates to healthcare benefits.
I think teachers just want their money.
Yeah, that's what I hear. They want their money, and I really am distressed that it's taken us so long to get here. And I know they need their raise. They tell me that, we see that posted, and I am hoping that once the decision is rendered on Tuesday at the hearing, that ratification will take place and we will be able to give them their raises retroactively to the first day of school. Something that I haven't mentioned is that although we're proposing the changes to the healthcare plan, they will not see the deduction in their paychecks until September 1st of the next school year. So they will benefit from the salary increase this year. They will have paid the same premiums this year as last year. And the new increases, they will not begin to have deductions until September 1st of 2024.
All right, obviously we're going to watch this process closely, see what happens. Thank you so much for sitting down with us and setting the record straight. And I think it's important to also note that obviously everybody here is fighting for what's best for the teachers.
Thank you.